Okay, so I thought I'd do this video because there's a lot of misinformation going on about vaccines and how effective they are. And the anti-vaxxers, they're getting onto these things like in Israel, it's saying that more vaccinated people hospitalised than the unvaccinated in Israel. Of the 143 patients, 58% were vaccinated, 39% were unvaccinated. So on the surface, you just think, oh my God, what's going on here? The vaccines aren't working, but you've got to dig deeper. So basically, you got to think of it like this. So think of if the whole population was vaccinated and you had 100% coverage, then naturally 100% of all hospitalizations would be of the vaccinated, right? So we'll look back here. So if you go to Israel, have got where did I read here? 85% of the adults are vaccinated. So of course it's going to be skewed. It's going to be skewed to the vaccinated because you're getting almost 100% vaccination rates with the adults, right? And so the other thing you got to remember is in all the countries we tend to vaccinate the most vulnerable first. So what's going to be left is the young people and ones that can handle the virus pretty well. So it's actually worrying that we're getting people hospitalised that are actually quite healthy. So of those 39% unvaccinated, you're going to have the anti-vaxxers, you're going to have the young, and the healthy, and ones that shouldn't be getting severe disease. So this is actually good. This headline is actually means the vaccine's working. 58% vaccinated, because you think about it, if 85% are vaccinated in Israel, that's roughly 6 times. So in a control group, you'd have 6 times as many should be in hospital that were vaccinated, and especially because they are the most vulnerable as well. So you see the hospital rates go up with the elderly, and I'll show you a graph from CDC, or a table here, so you can see what I mean here from the CDC. Let's just zoom in a bit. Okay, let's have a look here. So they got a control group which is the 5 to 17 year olds. You can see there. So that's 1 times. So everything's 1 times for the 5 to 17 year old groups. Actually, no, they've done the reference group as 18 to 29, sorry. So that's the reference group, 18 to 29s. So for hospitalisation, you're twice as likely to get hospitalised. Now keep in mind this was back, well actually it's been updated July 19th, so it might actually take into account the Delta variant, which is much more infectious. It's got a R0 value of 5 to 8 and compared to 2.4 for the Wuhan original variant, original virus. So when you're looking here, hospitalisation, 30 to 39s, they might be part of the unvaccinated group as well. So all the ones from 0 to 4s aren't getting vaccinated usually. 5 to 17s, I think they're doing a cutoff around 12 years old, so there might be some of those being vaccinated. Reference group, yeah, some of those, but most of the ones that have been vaccinated are 40 and over, and these are in the high risk groups. So you got 2 times more chance of being hospitalised in the 30 to 39, the 40 to 49, then it jumps to 4 times for 50 to 64, then 6 times 65 to 74, 9 times 75 to 84, and over 85, 15 times more likely to be hospitalised than the reference group of 18 to 29 year olds. And likelihood of dying, 4 times more likely than 18 to 29 year olds if you're 30 to 39, 10 times more likely if you're 40 to 49, 35 times more likely if you're 50 to 64, that's my age group. So I'm 35 times more likely to die if I get COVID than 18 to 29 year olds. I've been vaccinated, getting my second vaccine in about 3 weeks time. Actually, about 4 weeks. 95 times, see how it's really skewed to the elderly of the fatality. 95 times more likely to die, 65 to 74, 230 times 75 to 84, and 600 times 85 plus. Whew. So really, we're protecting the elderly. That's what it really comes down to. You're protecting your grandpa and grandma and the elderly. So coming back to this, you just don't get fooled by these headlines, man. Like this is what they're saying here. Vaccine doubters. I'll just shift my little window here so you can read it properly. Vaccine doubters strains fixation with Israel, because Israel is one of the most vaccinated countries in the world, right? There's other countries that are a little bit more vaccinated, but they've got really low populations. Israel's like a decent sized population, and they're really highly vaccinated. And if I saw it here, I think I saw 85%. Where are we here? So basically, the cases are going up a little bit because Delta is quite infectious, and they're not doing lockdowns. So you can see the confirmed daily cases are going up. So this was July 18th. So this is pretty current. And you can see hospitalizations are up, but you'll probably see the death rates is really low, because the ones that are hospitalized are going to be the unvaccinated ones, and they'll survive because they'll be in the lower age group. Where are we here? I did see, here we go. Q Israel. They are one of the global leaders in vaccinations. 85% of Israeli adults are vaccinated. So we have the following scenario. With an infection rate among the vaccinated of 2%. See, because you gotta realize there's a lot more. There's a lot more. So of those cases, those 143 cases, whatever it was, it's only 2%. It's only 2% that are vaccinated. So that's right in line with the efficacy rate, because it's only 95% or 92% effective against hospitalisation. An infection rate of 13% among the unvaccinated. This will give an efficacy rate of 85%. So that's what they're saying, is 13% of the unvaccinated are going to hospital, and they're the ones that are least likely to go to hospital because of the CDC graph. You can see there, CDC table. The unvaccinated are going to be in the age group of 0 to probably 40s, because we're just sort of rolling out 40s. I'd love to see, I'll see if I can dig up, let's do it now. See if we can dig up Israel. Israel vaccination by age. Let's see if we can dig that up. Here we go. So this is actually, here we go. This is interesting. Israel's COVID vaccination rate soars again in teenagers flock to shot centres. So basically, that's what's happening. They're seeing that their friends are getting hospitalised from this Delta variant. The Delta variant's quite bad amongst the young people now. It's showing it's actually a 38-year-old girl, totally healthy, not overweight, no existing conditions, everything. She died in Australia. She was only 38. 5-year-old little girl died as well. So this Delta variant seems to be less likely to discriminate by age, and you're seeing young people getting it and going to hospital and so forth. Let's just zoom in a little bit on this one. So you can see here, number of adolescents getting vaccinated against the coronavirus has risen sharply in recent days, raising hopes that a large proportion of the country's minors eligible for shots will be protected against COVID-19 in the coming weeks. Here we go. So this is what I want to see. As of Tuesday morning, nearly 32% of Israelis in the 10 to 19 age bracket have received at least one dose of the vaccine, up from around 23% a week earlier. So that's what I'm saying. The unvaccinated were in the low risk age group of 10 to 19s from that table. So you can see here the table, 10 to 19s. So they're in this sort of group here, the 5 to 17, say. So they're less than 1 times more likely than the reference group. So they're less likely than the reference group to be hospitalised. So I hope you're understanding this. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. Here we go. Authorities launched a renewed drive to vaccinate teens 12 to 15 last week. So they're trying to get the hospitalisations down of the young as well. Let's have a look here. Doesn't really say of the various groups. It'd be nice if they had a table that shows all the actual different age groups. But you get what I'm saying. Don't get fooled by these headlines by the anti-vaxxers. They're just playing around with the numbers, and it's not truthful. Here we go. Transmissibility of the Delta variant over the original strain is around 40%. No, it's actually more. It's more transmissible. I don't know where they're getting that from. Delta variant of the virus first identified in India is more contagious than other variants that may be able to bypass vaccine, but apparently does not cause serious infection. Okay, they're saying it's more contagious, but less likely to be transmissible. But I don't believe that, because the R naught value actually is high, and that is a transmissibility. So some of this information I don't concur, Doctor. I do not concur with this information. But interestingly, I just wanted to find out where the actual. So there we go, 32% of Israelis. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to find out. I want to find out the split in ages as well, because that tells you a lot. You've got to look at the big picture. You've got to look at the full picture here when you're looking at it. And actually, Nature, it was this 8th of July, so it was like 3 weeks ago. Will COVID become a disease of the young? So it could mutate. Could very well mutate and become a disease of the young, and then we throw all the stats out the window again and start again. Here we go. So here we go. This is what I want to look at. So looking at Israel here. Zoom in a little bit here. Whoop. Back one. Trending younger. Proportion of recent COVID-19 cases in Israel by age group. But you've got to remember here, they're not vaccinated. They're only 23% vaccinated at 10 to 19s. So it doesn't seem to affect the 0 to 9-year-olds, 11.8%. They're going to be unvaccinated. 10 to 19s, they're not vaccinated. So Israel, what they're doing is they're seeing how it's spread, and then they're just going to target the age groups if they see a spike. So obviously seeing a spike in the 10 to 19-year-olds. So they're doing a vaccination campaign there. So you see here, see how it's not matching up? 11.4% of the 40 to 49s. So there's probably a little bit of vaccine hesitancy there, because that should actually be lower than the 80 to 89s, like 1%, 0.1. See, so they've fully vaccinated the elderly, fully vaccinated, and they're not getting. So where are we? Doesn't really tell me what it is though. Is that who actually contracted it or in hospital? Not too sure. I like graphs that tell me a little bit more than that. It's a trend that's not restricted to Israel. In the United States and the UK, COVID-19 has become a disease of the unvaccinated who are predominantly young, I've explained why that is the case, because they're actually targeted the elderly because there's limited vaccine. They wanted to target the ones that are more vulnerable to serious illness and death, so they targeted the elderly for vaccination priority. And now that the elderly, here we go, so this shift is occurring in many countries that have vaccinated older people first and are now reaching high levels of vaccination in the adult population. Follows an earlier drop in age resulting from public health measures to prevent the spread of COVID-19 among older people who are most at risk of severe disease, such as those in nursing homes. So it's basically what I've been saying. And now they're going to sweep through and try and get the young people vaccinated. And also, I think they haven't recommended it yet for under 12s because they haven't done all the trials, all the safety trials. So yeah, get vaccinated, because now that the elderly are vaccinated, now you're going to prevent young people from catching it and being hospitalised. So my recommendation is everyone get vaccinated. Yeah, so they're seeing a spike in 10 to 19, as we said here. So there we go, guys. It's all there. I'll leave the links in the description. Hopefully that I explained it reasonably well. It gets a bit complex because you're looking at different age groups and everything. But the main point is that as more countries are getting fully vaccinated, you're going to see that shift over to all the hospitalisation going to be the vaccinated people, because it's going to be like roughly 100%, 100% vaccinated. You know, it's the group that's are not vaccinated are going to be in the low risk group, and you'll get some sort of older anti-vaxxers that don't want to get vaccinated. And you see it all the time. Doctors saying to the patients, the patients going, "Oh, please give me the vaccine." And the doctors are going, "Well, it's too late, mate. You're here now. You can't. It's not going to help you." And they sort of regret not getting the vaccine. They're on incubators, and on their deathbed, just about in ICU, and they're pleading for the vaccine. It's like, well, it's too late. You should have got it. You wouldn't have been. They basically go, you wouldn't be in hospital if you had the vaccine. So there we go. Evidence is there. So don't listen to those stupid headlines. Listen to Walrus Rider. I researched this quite a bit. Every time there's an expert on TV, and the panel asks them a question, I'm pretty much was going to say exactly what the experts were going to say. So I'm on top of this. It's just there's a lot of misinformation going around, and you've got to look at the stats. CDC, they're really good, and what's the other one? Worldometers is quite good too. I use Worldometers a fair bit. The vaccine website there. Let's see if I can zip that up again. Worldometers. So you can see the latest here. What's going on with the COVID cases? It's almost got 200 million cases almost, and 4 million deaths. I'll leave a link to my previous video I did like a year ago, and I actually predicted it'd be around 2% fatality, and I was spot on. But this is going to get skewed now. Now that we're getting a fair bit of vaccine going around the world, we're going to see less deaths, of course. So that's going to skew. It might end up, heaps and heaps of cases, and might go down to like 1%. Then all the anti-vaxxers going, well, look, it's not deadly anymore. It's like, no, it's because people got vaccinated, man. It's got nothing to do with the virus being less dangerous, because that was the other thing going around, that looks like the death rate was going down in the UK, and everyone's going, oh, well, it's not dangerous. This new Delta variant's not dangerous. So like, no, it's because people are vaccinated. That's why they're not dying. It's not the virus. It's because people are vaccinated. All right, guys. So you know the drill. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Have a look through my videos, and share it around so people get this information, not getting misinformation from these anti-vaxxers just pushing this rubbish about statistics that they know nothing about. And I explained it all, and hopefully you got the message and you understand it, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye.